This is a clash you don't want to miss, as the Imperawatts are looking to gain ground in the final few weeks of the Elestriad season. CalebDOTexe has dominated with water this season, while PK has been experimenting with variations of his Earth deck, but it hasn't quite clicked just yet. Don't forget to subscribe to Shattered Stars this month, as it is the Fire Pack, which includes Hollow Gorgon's Gaze and incredibly rare cards like Stellar Comagma. Shop Elestrals.com. Caleb kicks off this opening with one quest: to build more Frost.
Because hypothetically, I pulled 3 bombs already. I traded 2 away last week. So there's a possibility that if I pull at least 1 more bomb, I could play more Frost. No way! Let's go!
Oh my god!
Hey,
Oh my
easy.
For a bomb box.
4 bomb box. Another hollow.
You're
Huge.
crazy.
Lock a god? No. This box is...
Bro.
Yo.
I can't finish my
Insane,
stories. This box is so good. Dude, no way.
Wow, talk about some epic hits. PKSparkxx opts to open base set as he's chasing down Viscerous, a key card for his Earth strategy. He surprises even himself with his first hit.
Wait, I was wrong. Pandison. This is important because now there's another version of my deck that I can try. I drew one for my own and I traded, I believe, Joey for a Pandison. This makes another version of Earth live for me to try.
Then, the Elestrals Divine Demeter shines down on PK as he lands the biggest card he could have asked for.
Yeah! Finally! It took me 5 weeks and a 1-3 record to finally pull Viscerous. We can still go positive, folks, and Vice is gonna take us there.
With 3 Viscerous on his side, PK is ready to rock. But let's hear from Caleb on how he plans to approach this week's deck builds.
This week we are up against PKSparkxx, and this is gonna be a tough one. Last week he was on St. Harbor with the Panzer, I think it is. Really big defense stat occurred, and I'm a little scared of that. I don't know how we quite get around that other than exactly seeing our good friend Veritaqua here. So we've brought Veritaqua into our main deck. We've put another foamy in here. We're only on 2 last week. Otherwise, this is basically the exact same list that I played against Joseph, aka MBT. And honestly, the list just felt so nice last week that we're running it back, and we're just gonna pray that PK doesn't draw well, because I think that if he draws well, I don't think there's a shot in hell that we have any chance beating him, just because I think that the power levels of our decks are just so mismatched. So we're gonna pray that he does not draw well. We're gonna pray that there are maybe some misplays in there, and we're gonna pray that we are able to see 3 Astrabbit, our Veritaqua, and swing big with our Galaxy Station. 5 guys. We're going live. Let's get him. Yeah. Please, I hope this goes well. Oh my god. I'm so afraid.
5 Guys has been making a big splash here in the Elestriad, and I love the addition of Veritaqua by Caleb to handle a potential defensive build from PKSparkxx. That's what the Elestriad is all about. Epic counter builds. Now it's time to see what PK cooked up.
Last week, my deck was Panzer Nexus, and I still believe in that deck, just not this week. Water is potent. Water is a strong deck. It is fluid in its execution. It is fluid in what it wants to do. It is able to recover. It is able to destroy. It is able to put up decent offense. It is able to put up decent defense. The Cryo Scorchers have an amazing back row lineup. So much so that my ability to pilot a Panzer deck is not where I want it to be. I ran so many decks against a potential build of my opponent today, Caleb, and I just could not get it. But when I switched to a basic build, things began looking better. So today, behind Viscerous, Tectorus, and Equilinx, we are running Earth Beatdown. Simple build, simple strategy, unga bunga swing in. Pop the back row, build big monsters, get my own decent suite of back row. The only thing in my card pool I cannot properly utilize is Tsunami, which may even come in benefit for that. But we do have the power 3 Earth, in my opinion. We also have other ones such as Molestation and Rummagem in the deck as well, along with cards like Astrabit, along with cards like Elestriad to search out cards like Demeter and Feloy Forest to further buff up my Elestrals. We're going to be able to, I hope, beat my opponent before he can beat me. It's as simple as that. No strategy, no Centaur. Nope. It is Unga Bunga Earth Swing. But fortunately, we have a little bit of tech in the Spirit deck. I am running 2 Leviathans. Why? Because if I get the offense up properly, this can save my game. Caleb does have 3 Tsunamis. This may be a game decider. So we're keeping this on lock. Now, the unfortunate thing is that I can't send out. I have no natural 5 beaters. Like Viserys is a 5 when properly enchanted. Tectorus is a 3 when, you know what I mean? So it's not gonna be as simple. I may need to wait a turn. But the possibility is there.
Earth Beatdown is an incredibly strong deck with multiple tournament wins under its belt, and it seems like PK has more or less perfected the build. Look for cards like Molestation and Tectorus to be big players in this one. PK is going to kick off this clash needing a win for his squad and himself, and he finds an incredibly powerful card to start this one off, Rummagem. Rummagem allows him to search his deck for an Earth Elestral, and that's going to get him really anything he wants. It could be the Viserys, could be the Equalings. Depending on what he sees in his hand, Equalings is going to be the play. The beautiful Artist Collection Equalings from our Kickstarter. A beautiful card to have in your collection. Caleb rocking the 5 guys this week, as we saw. Just a strategy we've seen both Caleb and Matt O'Shea turn to as we've gotten to this part of the season, as they're able to build these decks pretty easily, and they just have really good stats. I think if anyone has a good matchup here, as Caleb indicated himself, it is PK, though. That Earth Beatdown deck is very powerful. Caleb going to start this with Nectar of the Gods, allowing him to draw 2 cards off the top of his deck, giving him immediate advantage, and then into an Astrabit here. A really powerful turn from Caleb, as he's able to get exactly what he's looking for, gets a ton of options to search through, adds to his hand, bolsters his defenses, but then opts to actually not set any back row in fear of Equalings. So still digging for answers for Equalings and understanding, hey, you know what, my rabbit here can hold it down. And PK says, you know what, I can play this game too. I'm gonna fortify my defenses with an Astrabit as well. I'm gonna start to set this 5 defense here. I'm gonna be able to get a card off the top of my deck and continue to get ready for future turns here. PK, of course, looking for the pairing of that Demeter to go with the Equalings he searched off the Rummagem, but that Rummagem is in danger as Nekruff hits the field here. Nekruff has the ability to force PK to expend an additional spirit if it's able to destroy something in battle. I'm assuming PK is letting this one go through, unless he's got a Tsunami face down that he's looking to try to get Nekruff to defense position, but he is going to let his Rummagem go down, and he'll be forced to expend an additional spirit in doing so. So a good turn there from Caleb, getting a little bit of momentum, and only the Astrabit remains on PK's end, but we know he's got plenty of tools in his arsenal right now, as Equalings does indeed hit the field. Caleb has 1 face down rune, so I would assume if you're Caleb, you knew the Lynx was coming, right? You had to kind of expect that, so I fully anticipate this counter rune to be something that can deal with Equalings. I have a hard time believing that Caleb wants to just throw a shield away here, but we're going to see 3 spirits on the Demeter, and that's going to be big for PK, as he can now go for the Nexus onto his Rabbit. I like that play. That's a really wise choice there from PKSparkxx, and now Caleb forced to make a decision with his counter rune, and it is indeed Gorgon's Gaze. So not surprising to see that play there. Again, if you're Caleb, you're really only going to set that face down if you're trying to stop the Equalings. If it was a Shield of Achilles, a smart player generally would not risk it there, because you know that Demeter is going to buff up that Equalings as well. The only other scenario there is you set 2 runes, understanding 1 is going to get blown up, and you go play the 50-50 in the opportunity to potentially bounce it back. But works out exactly as Caleb wants. Is he able to make that happen? As a result there, the Equalings unable to attack, right? And now Sorlet hits the field, and this is big because Sorlet has the opportunity to change the position of not only Equalings, but also Astrabit. So some different choices here to be made. I think you're going after the Rabbit, though, because the Nekruff can very easily take it out. But there you go. You've got the Gorgon's Gaze to stop it there as well. The Equalings still at risk, so that's worth noting there, but you can save your Rabbit for an additional turn. The question is going to be, does PK have that additional face down rune? Will that be able to stop the attack of the Nekruff now This is going to be big because if Equalings can survive another turn, PK has a chance to flip this board back around. But if he loses Equalings, he loses a lot of momentum, but he gets the perfect momentum shift card. Big plays from PKSparkxx, and he's actually going to wisely pull a spirit off the rabbit to conserve spirits, bounces the Necruff back to Caleb's hand, not only saving him his Equalings, but also saving that extra damage he would have taken from Necruff's effect. This is big because now with the power of Demeter, PKSparkxx can flip this one right around, and he's set up in a position where he can continue to pressure Caleb's back row if he opts to set it. Foley Forest is massive right now as well. Another Nexus target, and most importantly, a buff to any Elestral on the field carrying Earth. Rummagem going to fortify the later part of his game plan. Now PK is able to search his deck, and this is mega huge because the Rummagem with the Foley Forest and a Spirit from Demeter will then have 4 attack. With the buff, it can get up to 7 attack and be able to hit over some different things. So we've got a couple different plays here that PK can work with. He is going to Nexus from the Rummagem and just toss his Rummagem out. I'm a little surprised to see that, but that's going to allow the Equalings to attack over the Sorlet with no problem here. I think there was a little bit of an interesting play he could have made. I think there might have been a way to maneuver the Spirit with Demeter and potentially take out both Elestrals. I think he might have needed to do a little bit of a different play there, but ultimately, he gets rid of the Sorlet. The Necruff's gone. It's just the Rabbit. He's got pressure on the back row. And now Caleb is in a bad spot, right? He's backed up against the wall, but he finds his Atlantis, and that is massive for Caleb. The Stadium Wars are here to stay, and Caleb wins this one with Atlantis in a very crucial moment of this one. But the question is going to be, does Caleb have the pressure to take out the Lynx? He does, because he's got the Necruff. So Necruff is able to attack and take out the Equalings, and PKSparkxx with no back row going to be forced to expend an additional spirit. That Necruff comes back to bite him again, and PK is going to be looking to make a big play here. There is one back row to contend with, and of course, he has lost his stadium control. The Demeter does give him some offensive power. Ambrosia's going to be big here as well, as he will heal up 3 spirits of damage, actually putting him in the lead, which is huge. He's up to 10 spirits now and ready to go on the offensive with an additional 2 on field. PKSparkxx making a choice. It's going to be the Earthquake. Huge Earthquake from PK as he shatters the ground and takes out Caleb in full force. That was massive. Astrabit versus Astrabit from the earlier part of the game, but one of the best Astrabit counters of all time, Moss Station, hits the field with 6 attack due to its effect, and it can hit over the 5 defense Rabbit, and he does just that. Huge plays there from PKSparkxx, and he finally gets rid of that silly Rabbit that was holding them back. Foamy's going to come out now, and it gets buffed up from Atlantis. This Foamy can take out the Moss Station and now provides that floating effect to keep an Elestral on Caleb's field. That's huge for Caleb. And again, the Foamy going to charge forward, take out the Moss Station. Nothing PK can do about it. This could be bad for PK now, as Caleb with 2 face down runes, one is almost certainly going to be a Tsunami. And here comes the re-enchant on PK on that Astrabit, looking to get into the top of his deck and try to find some more pieces, but he's going to trip the Gorgon's Gaze on Caleb's end. That's the second one of the clash on his end, and that's going to stop Rabbit from being able to use its effect. So ultimately, not a terrible exchange if you're PK. I think you actually don't hate that. The biggest concern right now, if you're PKSparkxx, is that you've seen that Caleb is rocking this 5-guy strategy. There it is. It's just like he perfectly scripted it. The Galaxy comes out. I was just about to mention with 5 guys. All Caleb needs to do is grab a 5-guy and enchant with water, and he's going to be able to hit over this Rabbit. He does just that. Galaxy puts the pressure on, flips the stats of Foamy, and PK is going to lose his Rabbit, his 1 defensive Elestral. He needs something big here to come back. Let's see what he's got. 5 spirits for both of them. It's going to be Viscerus. Viscerus is huge right here for PK. This is his opportunity to try to climb it back, but he's got to figure out, I need to take down the Foamy, and then I need to be able to take out the Galaxy, and he gets Tsunami'd, of course. As we said a few turns prior, one of those face down runes is most likely Tsunami, which is the bread and butter of the water deck. And I think the biggest thing to highlight here that Gorgon's Gaze stopping Rabbit, but most importantly, PK with no back row, right? Like, he has nothing to support his Elestrals at this point, and you can't Tsunami, so you're just dealing with the power of these Water Elestrals, and Caleb has his ideal board state in play. Mustation with 6 attack, Galaxy sitting out there, Foamy being able to attack itself, and PK is now in a spot where he's got to really try to climb back. I don't think he's out of it yet. I think there's still a way for him to win. He has a Demeter that can buff him up. He's got to get rid of this Galaxy. The resting on your laurels is big here. The question now is, can PK figure out a way to get rid of this Mustation this turn and heal some spirits somehow as well? I don't know how you do all of that. Equalings can help a little bit. Will Caleb go for the expend here on his Mustation? It looks like he's going to, so he is going to pay the spirit to expend and make it so Mustation has 6 attack now. Equalings only sitting at 4. He can disenchant and try to take out Mustation. No, he's gonna Nexus off of it, go for the face down rune, takes his Shield of Achilles out. That's actually pretty big. Equalings can take out the Foamy, force 1 spirit of damage here, but Caleb is gonna be able to expend with his Mustation on the following turn and attack over the Equalings, and I think at that point, Caleb is going to walk away from this one. This was actually an incredible back and forth clash here where both casters have gone back and forth the entire time. We'll see. Caleb still needs enough water spirits to make this work, but he is going to go and misenchant, it looks like, whatever he grabs, because he needs to make sure he can save the spirits that he has. He grabs a small Tuga, just going to toss it with Earth into the... Oh, he might not have water. Does he not have it to use Mustation's effect again? Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to wait and see here. He may not actually have it, which could be huge, because if he does not have it, a lot of Caleb's Elestrals are actually not that viable. Wait a minute here. Hold on. We might be in for a treat. We might be in for a treat. He has to change his Mustation to defense position. Wait a minute. So PK looking into an Ambrosia right now. He's looking at top deck an Ambrosia. He's going to play the Equalings, the spirit on the Equalings to get an Ambrosia out. That is the play he needs. In the meantime, Caleb down to just 1 spirit. I wrote this one as done, but it is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes a Sorlet. There it is. Now it's over. Sorlet seals the deal. 5 attack on that, and PK in shambles. 0 spirits for both casters. Caleb seals the deal. What a crazy clash. We'll see you guys for tomorrow's Elestriad.